We are tonight's entertainment. I only have one question.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
It's Boyz to Nerdz, the nerdiest podcast that you are listening to right now.
I swear by my pretty floor bonnet, I will end you.
Featuring the producer, Steve.
Steve, do you have those ready to go?
Of course I do.
The unanimous human sacrifice for a cult ritual, Mark.
How scared are you right now? On a scale of 1 to scared.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to put you in the face. 10.
The godfather of pain, Gerald.
Hey, Gerald, pronounce the actor who played Killer Croc. Go.
Aquino Aniwi Agbaje.
The man to Kevin's left, Brian.
If anybody is listening, please save me from this show.
Oh, and your host, the master of hot takes, the flip-flapper, the cantankerous badger of the north, the old coconut donut himself, Kevin Lewis.
And we are back, Boyz to Nerdz, in the house, or your workplace, or your car, wherever you're currently listening to us. It doesn't matter. Just we are where you are in spirit. Welcome. So glad to be back. We do have a great show for you today. Definitely going to go over some hip topics. New video games have dropped down. No Man's Sky. Got some announcement for some Metal Gear news. We're going to get into that a little bit. And at the end, we decided that we're going to do a big versus matchup. Who are we going to pit against each other? We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. As always, I am joined by the producer, Mr. Steve, as the famous radio voice man said.
Absolutely.
And we have Mark today with us.
What up?
With his beautiful green shirt. Is it green or blue? I can't tell.
It's a mix between aqua, blue, naval, marine, blue.
It's definitely ugly. I will say that.
That's a lot of blues.
I think it's beautiful.
And we have Gerald, the man who holds us together, not physically per se, but the man who's always here, except for the 7 times he wasn't. Gerald.
I love you all.
We don't have Brian here today. We're going to try and do our best without him. He is the man to my left. I'm not typically used to functioning without people to my left, so we'll see how it goes. What's new with everybody? How's it going today on this wonderful Wednesday? Thank you again for joining us. We're ecstatic to have you. Not you, Mark.
I know.
How do we compete with that? No. I don't know. We've been pretty busy since the last podcast. There hasn't been like a whole lot of breaking news or like a whole bunch of current events, I guess you could say, in nerd culture. But, you know, keeping busy. You mentioned there are a few different video games that have either been announced or have come out, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, which we're pretty excited for. And I don't know. What's up with you, Kevin?
Man, I got to say that just sitting here at what date it is, we're almost done with August, so...
Boo.
Time is just freaking flying by. Where is summer gone? We don't live in an area with nice winters, let me just say. So I'm actually getting a little nervous about that. But I'm trying to enjoy being outside a little bit more. I try to spend at least 5 minutes outside a week. So far, I have not hit that margin. But goals are always good to have.
Enjoy the weather, my summer child.
I do want. I like that. You know nothing, summer child. You're the boy of summer. Anyway, I went to get coffee the other day, though. I do have a story. Somebody mightily angered me, and my bark is much worse than my bite, since A, it's rude to bite people, and B,
it's unsanitary.
Exactly. But I went to get some coffee, and I don't have a lot of time in the morning, so I go to Dunkin' Donuts, just like everyone else, or any coffee supplier. It doesn't matter. But for this case, it'll be Tim Hortons. I went to go get coffee, and I drove through the drive-thru, and I went to get some. I was in a rush, waiting 10 minutes. And one thing you guys don't know about my car is I tend to have Jets seats. Not the actual seats, but I have little covers over them because I'm a huge Jets fan. I love football, love Jets. And the guy was about to hand me his coffee. I just waited 10 minutes, and he goes to hand me his coffee, and you can just see in his eyes, in his brain, he's just going, and he says, and he has the audacity to say, you're a Jets fan? You can't have this coffee. And he pulls it away, and then I'm like, ugh. I don't have time for this, bro. I do not have time for this. I literally have to be to work 8 minutes ago. Can we please get the show on the road. And then I just asked him, listen, I need the coffee. Are you a Bills fan? Are you a Patriots fan? Who do you root for? And he's like, no, I root for the Falcons. I was like, what?
Why does he care then?
I know, it's just like, it's completely different.
Give me my coffee and shut up.
Different division, different conference.
It's not even the same thing. Like, why aren't you, like, we don't play each other. And he's like, I was growing up to hate Jets fans. They're the worst ever. I'm like, give me my coffee. So at the end of the day, I mean, like, do you have the audacity as being a public servant to withhold coffee just because I like a different sports team for you? Like, come on.
Now, I know that probably a lot of our listeners aren't huge football fans, but definitely that's something that's exciting with the season starting up, fantasy football starting up.
Fantasy football is for dorks. You don't want to be a dork. It's okay to be a nerd, but don't rank as a dork. All right, here's the ranking. We always said we'd go over this, by the way, and we never had the time to do it. If you classify, these are Kevin Lewis rankings. If you classify under nerd, that means you like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, maybe play a little Pokemon in the back, but you can carry a conversation with most people, okay? Once you start to delve into the realm of dweeb, okay, that's where you have your pocket protectors, that's where you have your LARPing. But then once you travel even further to where you know other languages from mythical worlds, Dothraki, Elvish, you trip all the time, you have suspenders, you're in dork territory right now. There's no coming back from dork territory. Just putting it out there. Girls don't like dork territory. Or men, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Is there?
Nobody does.
Yeah, it doesn't care.
Is there an area between dweeb and nerd? Because I don't know any of that stuff, but I know old movies. So
Well,
where do I fit?
I just feel like nerd is super hip right now, so like you can like be super cool, like I like sports because I love football, but I also like a good, I like a good adventure in Mordor every once in a while, just a stroll through the volcanic ash and the dirty water, But yeah, we just said we'd always rank those, and we never did. And we haven't ranked things based on how many Robins it is lately. We don't follow any particular set of rules.
That was last season, Kevin.
I definitely wanted to touch base on that. Super big things coming up, though. We talked about video games. We have a kick-ass news story. So, Mark, why don't you lay it down on us and let us know what is going on in the world, what we're going to chat about, because I am dying to hear your intro and then have somebody else tell me, because I don't care what you think.
It's time for Brian's news with his blue hat, suspenders, Converse shoes, pocket watch, the Pell. Wait, Brian's not here, is he?
No, Brian's not here.
Crap! Wait, who's doing it?
What are we going to do? I didn't think about this.
Oh, man, Steve.
No, we're going to do something different. We're going to have Steve give us the newscast. So, Steve, why don't you hit us with what's coming up?
Wait, Steve, what are you wearing?
It is very key. If you are wearing a themed hat, we must know.
I'm streaking it today.
Steve's free ball in the head.
All right, so getting into the news, we'll start with some old news, but it's a new take on it, Suicide Squad. So despite mostly negative reactions from fans and critics, the critics remained number one at the box office in its second weekend. So the movie has domestically grossed over $220 million. So there's more than likely a chance that we're going to see a sequel, or at least some specific characters that'll show up in some other DCEU films. But that's kind of where we stand with Suicide Squad as of now.
Yeah, I mean, people hated it, but it obviously made money. And if it makes money, they're going to make 18 movies on it. I mean, they've spent so much time and invested so much money in this DCEU that you can't just stop now.
Yeah, they can't back out now.
No way.
I think it's rumored they have to make in between $750 and $800 million just to like make a profit or to be considered a success by Warner Brothers.
I don't know if you're going to talk about this, but did you see that Ghostbusters is going to lose about $80 million?
Yeah, I read that.
Which is a shame. I mean, maybe you shouldn't touch classic movies and remake them with a modern
Now,
twist,
Mark, I know that you saw that movie, but has anybody else here seen? I personally still have not
I refuse
seen
to see it out of sheer principle.
I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it.
Like, one sentence recap, it does somewhat justice to it, but, don't go out of your way to see it.
All right, so still keeping with the DCEU from IGN, and it was originally reported by Batman News that Suicide Squad star Jared Leto stated in an interview that he felt, quote, sort of tricked into being a part of something that had been pitched to him very differently. And he went on to say that he still has not seen the finished film after hearing how much of his Joker scenes were cut out of that movie.
Well, I would be mad too. I mean, it'd be interesting to see like obviously we're not going to see it, but like the contract that he signed, like I wonder if they promised him a certain amount of screen time or what he's going to do, because obviously they sign up for these projects a couple of years before. So
now I think that this is going to have an impact moving forward, not just on that current contract, but see what happens moving forward to see if he will jump back into the universe at least anytime soon. And it could have some major implications for the standalone Batman film, as we're not entirely sure exactly what that entails, but we know that it's going to happen.
You would think that they would sign him to a multi-picture deal, though. I mean, you can't just cast somebody for the Joker in this extended universe and have him be like, yep, I'm done after one movie. You know,
they did it for all of them.
Here we go again.
Multi-picture deals.
All right, so moving on past that, Kotaku reports that Pokemon Go's legendary birds will be released through an event that will require players to go to a gym of their corresponding team.
Oh, I thought you meant like a gym. Like you
An actual gym.
You actually have to, okay, now we're taking fitness to another level.
You had to hop on a treadmill to get Articuno.
No, so you have to go to a gym of your corresponding team, and then from there, players will have to go to different Pokestops. You have to collect 3 feathers that represent that legendary bird, and then go back to the gym with those feathers. That's held by your team, and that will start a battle with the legendary bird that any sort of surrounding players will be able to join, and if the bird is defeated, then everyone will be able to catch it. So I don't know if you guys have seen the newer live-action trailer for Pokemon Go, but they did this with Mewtwo. It was one of the legendary birds. Mewtwo.
That's
Mewtwo.
Meowth. No, it's fine. Mewtwo.
Fusion. And it looks really cool. Obviously, it's a trailer, but that's definitely something that's coming out. So finally, Niantic's communicating with its players.
Can I ask you a question? I know we've kind of talked about this so much. I just have one quick question about Pokemon Go. When I never was able to figure out when you're battling what you're supposed to do. Are you just supposed to tap the screen repeatedly, or are there certain singular motions you're supposed to do with the
Well, tapping on the screen is how you attack, and then you can play defense by swiping left or right to dodge incoming attacks.
Oh, that explains why I got my ass kicked every time, because I just tap. They thought I was sending distress signals from the Titanic.
See, I personally still have to this day not been able to master the defensive strategy of things. Like, I'll swipe, but I just don't really see like when oncoming attacks are going to happen. But it's supposed to be there. You can swipe left and right and so on. But I mean, finally Niantic's communicating with its players, but it might be a little bit too late to regain some of the users that have previously dropped off. And honestly, I myself am one of them. I was a huge advocate for this, so we talked about it when it first got announced in an earlier episode. But since I don't know. I mean, it's cool, it's fun, but
it's fizzling out.
Yeah, it's definitely fizzling out.
You want to hear my experience with Pokemon Go?
No, next topic.
Gerald, I would like to hear it.
Oh, thank you.
Denied. Next topic.
I downloaded it on my phone with the intent of playing it. 2 weeks later, never opened it, deleted it off my phone.
Well, that about summarized what happened when I adopted a kitten last time.
All right, so still keeping in the world of gaming, No Man's Sky hit the shelves and online marketplaces for PC and PlayStation players recently. And the game spotlight of the procedurally generated Galaxy is landing with mediocre reviews, at least from the critics, but at least seemingly positive reactions from most players. And we'll have a little bit more on that coming up later in the show.
Oh, I explored a little bit.
Yeah? Did you actually buy it?
That sounded weird.
Yeah, no, I definitely tried it. We'll talk about it more. I definitely have solid opinions on it. It's a pretty game. I will say that much.
Yeah, so we'll get into that a little bit more later. And lastly, a new Rogue One trailer was released recently.
Hails to the yeah!
And that featured a basic rundown on the team, as well as some of the most incredible Star Wars visuals ever. And the trailer was capped off by 2 epic shots, the first of which was the film's protagonist, Jyn Erso, limping across a catwalk, coming face-to-face with a TIE fighter. And then the final stinger of the trailer was the back of Darth Vader's badass head. So that was pretty cool. So what's kind of everybody thinking about the trailer and your first impressions, or I guess your second impressions on Rogue One?
You know, after 20 years of development, you think they would give him a better freaking breathing apparatus after a while. I mean, how much money is he bringing that company in? I mean, you got to take care of your people.
It's a nostalgic
You
thing.
look like he had something, Gerald.
I just want to see him from the front. I don't know what he looks like. And then they got to show him from the back.
Well, seeing Darth Vader from the back. I wonder if he has that little cape. See, here's my biggest thing about Star Wars. First movie, okay, he's wearing a cape, but he doesn't have a hip cape, right? So very rudimentary design. Empire Strikes Back, hip cape. I want to know if that was, something he wore maybe off, maybe on, if it was seasonal, if he acquired it and he went to a shop on Tatooine and he's like, what I could really use is this hip cape. But I definitely watched the trailer. Thought it was awesome. One thing I will say is that they're definitely introducing a lot of new characters. And Brian and I, who is not here, have a little bet because he thinks that all the main characters are going to die, which makes sense because it's just kind of a throwaway story, to help piece some puzzle pieces together. But I guarantee, I call it right now, I've been right with every prediction I have made on the show.
Okay.
That at least two of the characters will survive.
Darth Vader being one of them.
No. No, I mean of like the ragtag rogue crew, whatever the hell they're called. But pretty excited. Did you see the visuals, though, Mark?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a fan of not just Star Wars, but Gareth Edwards, the director. He did Godzilla and a bunch of
Godzilla
other
sucked
movies.
if you're talking about the one with Bryan
Godzilla.
You're
I
talking
love
about the movie with
Cranston
Bryan
one.
Cranston
Yeah.
in it. That movie sucked.
No, it didn't.
That movie was awful.
It didn't suck.
The parts with Godzilla, which was like 8 minutes of the movie, that was good. But
It was awesome.
Easily the worst thing that what's the guy who played Quicksilver in Marvels? I don't know his name.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
No, that's not right. I think I'm looking for Hugh Jackman. But easily the worst thing he's ever been a part
But
of.
I am excited. The visuals look awesome, and it has this, to me, a more of a thriller, not spy-esque vibe, but I feel like they are trying to go for, a different tone within the Star Wars, and I feel like I get that from those trailers.
You said thriller. Are you insinuating that Michael Jackson is on the soundtrack?
Yes.
Are we breaking news right here?
New song.
No, visuals were definitely cool. Even me, who's hard to please, was blown away because they took very basic things that we've seen before. Star Destroyers, Death Star, sand. they just made it interesting.
I hate sand.
And then we heard, the note, I can't redo it. It's like, that noise that it makes when
The power down?
Yeah.
It's not really a power down, but they're getting ready to fire it. I know the Death Star, I know that was prominent in the trailer, so it's pretty dope. My issue with these kind of movies, we already know how it's going to end. So that's my biggest issue with it. And I will say, Forrest Whitaker, he's in this movie. Haven't seen him in a while. Haven't seen him in a hot minute, as the
He's
kids
actually
say.
playing a character that is from the Clone Wars show.
Who was he in the Clone Wars show?
Saw Gerrera.
I don't remember him. How did he come
He was
into
just in one of the episodes.
just
He was-
one of the 900 episodes.
Or one or two. He was like a rebel that fought alongside Anakin and Obi-Wan.
The only character I really want to see come into live action from the animated show or the Clone Wars is Cad Bane, because he's freaking awesome.
They brought over someone, I don't know his character, I never watched Rebels, but the character Ben Mendelsohn plays in the trailer, he's a dude with the white jacket and the stars, or the badges. I think he's like the main villain.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. But he was originally out of the canon when Disney took it over because anything other than the films and the shows, everything was like, nope, doesn't count. But they brought him back.
I'm super excited about this one more time because what I like is that they've taken established stuff that we've seen, and now we get to see characters interact in between. Okay, I know this is predating A New Hope, but it's probably 5 seconds before because the whole movie starts off with them getting those plans. So I'm curious if we're going to see, Obi-Wan Kenobi in some fashion or a reference, or if we're going to see Leia Organa, or probably won't see Luke. But I want to see things like that. So definitely pretty pumped about that. Can't wait. It's the only other movie I'm going to see this year. At the end of the year, I'm going to rank all the movies I've seen from best to worst. You may be surprised. Deadpool did not do well, in my view. But, I think, is there any more news?
No, that's it for the news.
We would definitely want to keep you guys posted. Let us know what you guys think about, the stories we went over, if we missed anything. And let us know, are you pumped to see Rogue One? Because I love how they don't say it's a Star Wars movie. They specifically say a Star Wars story or a Star Wars tale.
It's a Star Wars movie.
Something like that. So we definitely want to see that. We want to hear your thoughts, and we can't wait to hear it from you. So, Steve, I believe next up we are going to be doing a fun little game, which we like to do every other show, just to see who's the best nerd. I think I've won the most games, wouldn't you say, Joe?
I don't think so.
I think I've won at least all of them in my mind.
Are we counting last season?
Yes. So why don't you explain the game that we're going to be playing today?
All right, so today's game is going to be movie taglines.
Ooh.
Done.
So it's going to be another trivia type game where there's going to be 2 different rounds. I'll be hosting, so not participating, but we're going to pit the 3 of you guys 1v1v1.
1v1v1 sounds like the next Iron Man suit.
Triple
Oh no, those are the mocks, aren't they? I'm thinking Batman, because in the Arkham games they would be like Batman suit V1.7934. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
So it's going to be 1v1v1, and there's going to be 2 rounds. The first round, there are a total of 15 questions, so each of you will have 15 catchphrases, and then each of you will have 5 to answer. Now, I have them all listed 1 through 15. We'll do these at random so that you can't say, Kevin, when you lose, that I gave you the hard ones.
Even though you do every time, and I'm convinced that this is a conspiracy theory. Nobody listens to me, but...
And then after the first 15 questions, or the first 3 rounds or 5 rounds, I'm not very good at math, then we will take the top 2 highest scores and move them on to the final rounds, where it'll be the same type of deal until we have a winner. Now, each question, or at least the first round, will be a lot easier than the final round. So if you think that the first round is challenging, just wait until you get to the finals if you get there.
Feel free to play along at home. I just want to confirm, every question, we're all getting... all of us are participating in the first round, so we're all getting at least 5 questions. Every one we get right is worth 1 point, correct?
Correct. Every question right is 1 point, and then in the second round, every one right is 2 points, but I guess it really doesn't matter because if you get it right or you get it wrong, you get the points. So.
And if we run into a tie, I guess we'll just solve it like how any responsible adult solves anything, just a classic rock, paper, scissors game.
We have tiebreakers.
War has ended this way. War, Steve.
No, we actually have a...
Let me finish my joke. War, and war never changes. God damn it.
That's a Fallout tagline. It's not a joke.
No, that's completely mine.
No, we do have tiebreaker rounds if needed.
Of course. So. Brian did this game. Everything's proficient.
All right, so I guess we'll start with
Mark.
Kevin.
Okay. Mark.
This way it is the most open for you.
Still going to get the hard ones. I guarantee it.
So I have these all listed numbers 1 through 15. Feel free to pick one, and I'll give you the catchphrase. You have to name the movie.
And nobody can jump in. It's either I get it right or I get it wrong.
No steals.
Yeah. I'm ready.
1 through 15.
Oh, I pick a number. I'm sorry. 15.
15. He's having the day of his life over and over again.
That would be Groundhog Day.
Correct. Kevin gets 1 point.
Ooh, ooh. I did that like 14 times last show, and I was like, ooh, 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 and it sounded like, I don't know. It was funny. I noticed.
All right, Mark.
We're going to go with 4.
Number 4. An adventure 65 million years in the making.
Jurassic Park.
Correct.
Oh, sorry. There was an error with the sound effect bar. Otherwise known as my larynx.
Gerald.
I'll go with number 2.
Number 2. Why so serious?
The Dark Knight.
Correct.
Are these intended for a third grader?
Don't worry.
Well, I think this is going to be an easy victory, boys, for me.
So after 1 round, everybody has 1 point. Kevin, you're next.
Yep, I'm going to pick number 9.
Number 9. United we stand, divided we fall.
Oh, I know this. I don't know this. I think I know this. United we stand, divided we fall. Just, you don't have to tell me. Do you guys know it?
Yeah, I know it.
You know it? Oh.
Yeah, I know it.
Do you guys at home know it? Take your time to get back to me.
Should have a time limit here.
United. Yeah. Give me 10 more seconds.
Dun, dun, dun. No, we can't use that song.
I don't know. 3 Musketeers?
Can I go?
Mark.
Wrong?
Captain America Civil War.
It is Civil War, but you don't get any points.
Get a point.
I get the glory, though.
All right, Mark, but you are the next one to go.
We'll do 8.
Number 8. In space, no one can hear you scream.
Alien.
Alien's correct.
I don't think I'm going to do well in this game anymore, boys.
Gerald.
7.
Number 7. Worst heroes ever?
Isn't that Suicide Squad?
It's Suicide Squad. So after 2 rounds, Kevin, you're trailing.
Shut up.
It's Mark and Gerald 2. Kevin 1. Kevin, you're up.
What one did you pick last?
7.
7. Are you sure?
No.
I'm going to go with my lucky number, which is number 8, but that's not available, so I'm going to pick number 1.
Number 1. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Absolutely.
Still in this bad boy.
But not the new one. Mark.
3.
Number 3. Life's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
We're going to go with Forrest Gump.
See, I feel like these are so easy that I got the one hard one. So just do out a process of elimination. I'm going to get eliminated.
Yeah, but it wasn't hard.
There's more hard ones.
Yeah, Mark got it.
No, because he said all the easy ones are in the first round. I'm like that guy in that Big Daddy movie who's like, you gave him all the easy ones. That was an awful impression. But
Hip-hop-a-nutters?
you get the idea.
Hip-hop-a-nutters?
Gerald.
That's not the movie, Mark. Shut up.
11.
11. You don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies.
Ooh.
The Social Network.
These are
The Social
all
Network.
Easy. Come on. These are all movies that have been around forever. So you get like 18 years to associate yourself with the tagline. I get a movie that came out 5 minutes ago.
Gerald got a newer one. Suicide Squad. Kevin, you're up.
Is 10 available?
10's available. One man struggle to take it easy.
Oh.
One more time, please.
One man struggle to take it easy.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yep.
Nice.
Got it. So it is 3-3-3,
But I'm at a very big disadvantage.
Kevin has got one wrong. Mark and
I
Gerald
don't think we should do eliminations.
100% right now.
I'm just
Mark.
saying, I don't think we should do eliminations. I'm just saying. Put it out there. Let me know what you think at home. It's probably going to be too late, but, you know.
Is 11 taken?
11's taken. We have 5, 6, 12, 13, and 14.
5. We're going to go 5.
5. Houston, we have a problem.
Are you kidding me?
We're going to go with Apollo 13.
Yep.
Wait, he said Apollo Creed. I heard it. That's a character. That's not even a movie.
Gerald.
I'm not sure what numbers aren't taken.
We got 6, 12, 13, and 14.
I'll go with 12.
12. You'll believe a man can fly.
Ooh.
Are you kidding me? This is the easiest thing I've done since trigonometry.
I'm actually kind of stumped on this.
Good. Good. But the problem is, Gerald, I know you, and you're going to pull it out of your butt and get it right.
You believe a man can fly.
Space Jam. Space Jam. I believe I can fly. What else would it be?
Man of Steel.
Not Man of Steel. Very close, though.
No, doesn't count. Sorry.
Superman.
He gave an official answer. He got that wrong.
All right, so Gerald got that wrong. Kevin, Gerald, 3. Mark is on top with 4. 1 round left.
Come on, Gerald. These are all easy. What's wrong with you?
Kevin.
Yeah. What was left? 6?
6, 13, 14.
I'll take 13.
13. Coming to your galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
It's not like you're going to give me another shot.
No.
This game
It's
is
Star Wars.
This game is stupid. I hate it.
All right, Mark.
6.
This is just for bragging rights to round 2, Mark. Number 6. Every generation has a legend. Every journey has a first step. Every saga has a beginning.
Is it
The Chronicles of Narnia.
Star Wars
Lion,
Episode
the
1?
Witch, and
Star
the
Wars
Wardrobe.
Episode 1 is correct. Mark clean sweeps through the first round.
How do we have 15 Star Wars entries on this list?
Gerald, you get the last one by default, number
Okay.
14. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
The look on Kevin's face.
Jaws 2.
Jaws 2.
God damn it! Veto. I veto this, and I want to be in the final round. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm playing.
Except turn your microphone off.
I am playing.
All right,
you
so
threw my
after
pen.
the first round, Kevin has been officially eliminated. Mark 5, Gerald 4, but as we move into the second round, the championship round, only where champions can participate.
If you don't give me a question, right now,
I'll give you the
very, very
tiebreaker
upset.
question. Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Is this my question?
Yes.
Oh, that's, I feel like it's a trick question. I feel like it's Die Hard, but Die Hard like 4. I feel like it's, what was that one? Live Free and Die Hard.
It's Live Free or Die Hard.
That's what I said.
You said and Die Hard.
Still got, oh, come on, that's bull crap.
But that's a tiebreaker question anyways. That was just to make you feel good
Does
about yourself.
that mean I'm back in?
It means that Mark and Gerald are in the finals.
Why can't I play?
All right, so now as we move into the finals, all points are erased. So it's head-to-head. We're going to have, 8 total questions. You'll each get 4 catchphrases or taglines. And Mark, because you were before Gerald in the first round, Gerald, you get the first pick 1 through 8. And these will be much more difficult.
I notice I'm being omitted here. I don't like it.
4.
Number 4. The first casualty of war is innocence.
Where were these in the round where everybody was in it, huh? No, just give him the easy ones. It's fine. Shocking, he got it wrong.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, go for it.
You can, but you won't get the points.
Is it Platoon?
It is Platoon.
Mark, you've seen too many movies.
I know.
All right, Mark.
1.
Number 1. Nice planet. We'll take it.
The pilot episode of Dragon Ball Z. It's not wrong.
Is it No, it's not that one. I want to say is it Avatar? No.
Not Avatar. It's Mars Attacks.
Man.
So scoreless through the first round. Back to Gerald.
Okay. What number did you just say, Mark?
1, I believe.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
Number 2. Collide with Destiny.
Collide with Destiny. Armageddon.
Armageddon's incorrect. It's James Cameron's Titanic.
Yeah.
I get it.
Every
Kevin, you would have known that one, right?
My dreams, I hear you, I feel.
All right, Mark.
I love that movie.
We're going to get flagged for copyright. 3.
Number 3. The 8th wonder of the world.
Crap. Shoot. 8th wonder of the world. Atlantis?
It is wrong. It's King Kong.
Shoot.
So after 2 rounds of the championship round, we're still scoreless. Halfway through, questions 5 through 8 are left. Gerald.
5.
Number 5. The longer you wait, the harder it gets.
Man, that sounds sexual.
This is a family show. Gosh darn it.
Longer you wait, the harder it gets.
I think I know this.
Something about waiting.
About 5 seconds.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it up.
It was sexual. It's 40-year-old virgin.
I knew it.
So, Mark.
Up the line, 6.
Earth. It was fun while it lasted.
Was it a little jazz for
I'm gonna make. Never mind. I'll keep myself quiet.
Earth, it was fun while it lasted. Was it It's not Elysium. I know it's not. I give up.
It's obviously Armageddon.
It's Armageddon.
Oh, and you guys didn't want me in this round. You didn't want me in this round, and guess who would have just won? Right there. So just remember this, people, when I say at home, that I should have won.
You're not in this round.
All right,
anyway.
last 2, Gerald.
8.
8. They grow up so fast.
Toy Story.
Crap, it's always the ones I know.
So fast.
Rugrats in Paris.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. Still scoreless, though, with 1 left. Mark, if you get this, you clinch. If not, we'll have the tiebreaker. First one to give the correct answer wins.
This is the equivalent.
But you have the chance to claim it.
This is the equivalent of a blowout in the Super Bowl. After a while, just nobody cares anymore because the good team that should have been in there wasn't there.
Fear can hold you prisoner. Hope can set you free.
Is it Invincible?
Can I guess? Can I guess? Shawshank Redemption.
It's Shawshank Redemption.
Can I please be the unofficial winner of this game? Please.
So after 8 of the championship round, we're still scoreless. This one will be open for everyone.
Heck yeah. How do we play, though?
First one to say the correct answer wins.
Okay, I got this. Can you mute their microphones, please?
Only one will claim the night.
The Warriors?
Saturday Night Fever.
Batman.
Batman is correct. Gerald is our champion yet again.
Damn it!
We always lose to this guy.
That was a total guess.
Well, that was fun.
So Gerald is our champion. He just seems to win at everything. Kevin, you're our official loser. You seem to lose at everything.
Hey.
And Mark, you were there.
Yeah. All right.
That's his motto.
Glad to be here.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. We like to do these every other week, just to keep it fresh on the toes. We do like to do these. But, Mark, I'm actually pretty impressed that you knew as much as you did. I really am. I've always known that you love movies, so why don't we introduce your little introductory... That's not it. Introductory... No, that's not it. Why don't you just tell us what you want to watch?
All right. Well, if you missed the last episode and whatnot, this segment is about movies that you may have missed during the first go-round and all of that fun jazz. Kevin.
Yes.
How do you feel about anthology films about romance?
Well, I love them, first of all, because I think love is the only true thing on this planet, especially when it's in fiction.
I feel like you're full of
Titanic.
crap when you say that. All right. Well, my film this week is called Paris, Je t'aime.
Ooh, le français.
Which-
No, not L. L is not French. La français. Como estás?
The translation means Paris, I love you. And this is the first in the Cities of Love trilogy. It's a film that's actually a bunch of short movies made by 18 short films. Sorry about that. Made by a lot of reclaimed directors like the Coen brothers, Wes Craven, Gerard Depardieu, Alfonso Cuarón, Tom Twyker, Gus Van Sant. A lot of these guys and gals, sorry. And they, it's different intricacies about love and Paris and how some stories are actually about the city of romance, and some are like very weird. My favorite of that bunch is the Coen brothers one, because it's just Steve Buscemi in the middle of a train station, and he sees this couple, and this couple catches him eyeing them making out, and they get, they threaten to beat him up and all that. And there's a bunch of other ones, and there's a second one called New York, I Love You, and a third one that was released called Rio, I Love You. But this one is my favorite because it's one of the more obscure, heartbreaking ones, and a lot of these films you'll love, and some other of these films you won't get. But every time you watch it, you learn something new, and I really like it. I really recommend it. Paris, Je t'aime, whatever. Paris, I love you. Just rent it. You'll like it.
Mark, thank you so much for giving us that wonderful recommendation that I will never watch. What was it called one more time?
Paris, Je t'aime, or Paris, I love you.
Isn't P.S. I Love You a movie about Gerard Butler who leaves a trail to his wife to find?
That's P.S. I love you. We're talking about Paris. Paris, I love you.
Mark, I kind of want to keep the spotlight on you. So you are super huge in movies.
Yeah.
And one thing we've been doing is we've kind of been going around a little bit, and we want to learn a little bit about the nerds. So
I'm good.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, God.
I've conducted a series of questions to determine if you are sane. First thing I want to know.
I'm afraid.
First thing I do want to know, Mark, is when you come into the show, obviously we come in here, we do it every other week, maybe weekly soon. We don't know. Things are up in the air. What do you feel you bring to this show that maybe not everybody else can do? Not everybody else can claim to fame. What is it? What do you do better than most of us? And what do you like about yourself on the inside?
Oh, God. I guess what I bring to the table is that I spend a lot of years watching not only just films, but I listen to a lot of different music and played a lot of different games. So I played a couple different fields when it comes to nerdism, if you will. I don't know much about comics or anything like that, but I do love the culture of it. I do love all these people gathering around, what they love and all that. So every 2 weeks or a week or whatever it is now.
I'm glad you know.
I don't know. But I feel like I know enough about like different areas, especially news-wise, because I keep up with that sort of stuff, to sort of like chime in and be like, well, we could look at it this way, like Suicide Squad needing like $750 million to like break even or anything like that, or whether there will be a director's cut. I always worry about like stuff that maybe some of you guys don't necessarily think of right away, but I always try to keep my eye on that ball, just in terms of like all the different areas.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree that you bring that to the table. One of the biggest things, and we're sticking with movies because you are kind of our movie expert. Like everyone just saw you showcasing like how many taglines, you always pull out the
Not the last round, though.
You always pull out the directors out of nowhere, and we're always so impressed with that. So if you were put into a position in Hollywood, in the film industry, do you think you would be most successful in a director's role, a writer's role, maybe a film critic's role? What would be the best to suit you that would go along with your personality?
I always wanted to be a film critic when I was younger. I even shadowed... I won a contest when I was a kid in 6th grade to do like a Critics Corner kid review with Jack Garner, and I reviewed The Cat in the Hat. At the time, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Now, it's not so much. But I love movies, and I love writing about them. If I wanted to be a critic, I feel like I would have to pull it apart, and I don't feel like I can do that knowing what I know now. Like, even on the worst movie in the world, like even Phantom Menace.
Hey, it's not that bad of a movie.
Well, for argument's sake, let's say people thought it really was like the worst thing in the world. A lot of people, spent a lot of time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears into that, and to just sum it up in 500 words, I don't think I could do that. Maybe I could be an editor or a director. Maybe. I think those would best suit my skills. Maybe a writer.
If you had to give me a 100-step plan to solve all the economy issues in America, where would you begin? I'm kidding. But
save your money. Get a piggy bank.
But one thing I do want to know is, I'm kind of sticking with the movie theme because it is you. So what is the earliest movie you remember watching? What's the first movie that comes to mind when I say, Mark, what was the first movie you ever saw?
I think I saw Toy Story in theaters. That was the first one I saw in theaters.
Till probably 95-ish?
95-ish. I remember seeing Twister a lot. That's probably one of my earliest ones. And all like the Power Rangers, the Power Ranger movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a bunch of like old cartoons and a bunch of that. Those were some of the earliest ones, and probably some PG-13 ones I probably shouldn't have. A lot of Adam Sandler movies. If
you could survive one famous disaster in the history of the world, what would it be? So that way you have that story in your back pocket.
Maybe like I don't know. I just recently saw 2012.
That movie scared me when it came out.
Like just all the crap that happens in that movie. Just to be like, hey, I survived with John Cusack. At the end, I'd be like, yes.
Not a lot of people who hung out in John Cusack's posse survived Hollywood. Last question. Thank you for taking the time you don't answer these. We do like people to get to know each other. What did you have for lunch today?
Well, I had a sandwich with...
I witnessed you eat that sandwich,
sliced chicken breasts, thinly sliced provolone, some lettuce, and then a side of more lettuce, and some carrots.
I lied. I have one more question, and then we're done.
Right. Well, before you get to that, Kevin, I'm going to call you out on this question because as we were prepping for the show earlier today around lunchtime, I said, Mark, that looks like a good sandwich. What do you got for lunch today? You must have stole that question from me, Kevin.
I'm a question. All right, you caught me. I'm a question stealer. One more serious question. When we first started this project, almost a year ago, believe it or not, what did you feel going into it versus how do you feel now that we're down the line 10 months later?
I mean, I felt good going in at the first show, but I was like, in my head, I was like, God, what am I going to offer? All these guys, they know,
we're
like...
still thinking that.
Yeah, I know. All these guys watch, like, the Batman animated shows, and, they get into all that stuff, and they watched a lot of it growing up, whereas I just, like, bits and pieces and all that, and I don't really watch Walking Dead and all that. So I was like, what will they really talk about? But I feel like as the more we got into it, my sort of humor in between and, letting more of myself through, I think that sort of helped. And, glad to be here.
I'm just glad we were finally able to get over the least interesting member of Boyz Nerds. So you're welcome. We got that done. We wanted to get that out of the way.
I'm going to walk
Kevin,
out
we haven't
now.
got to you yet.
No, we did do me. We started with me. But thank you, Mark, for real. Seriously.
Yeah, sure.
During lunch when we were prepping, for the show, I was on my computer and I was looking at, some resources on the internet to find some news topics. And Gerald, I think you mentioned it too, that a new trailer dropped for Metal Gear Solid, and they not a trailer, but they announced the fact that there will be a new Metal Gear game, which is pretty interesting since Hideo Kojima is not with Konami anymore.
Yeah, Metal Gear Survival.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us what you understood about the premise?
So what I read and what I saw is it's about some of the characters from the last game are sucked into an alternate dimension where they have to fight zombie-like creatures. It's a co-op game. It seems kind of like a Left 4 Dead or maybe like the Call of Duty Zombies mode. So it's not very Metal Gear, in my opinion.
For those that play Metal Gear Solid 5, it takes place right after the events of Ground Zero, so when the base falls and all that, these 4 characters fall into the wormhole, if you will, like Gerald said. So characters from the game won't make it into this new Metal Gear. It's mostly new characters. So we don't know if we'll see Solid Snake or Ocelot or any of those characters.
Now, do we think that that's because of the change in...
They did lose a big... Because that was Kojima's baby. Not Kojima. Hideo Kojima. That was his baby. So I think everyone's interested to see what they do continuing without him. Mark?
I mean, they do spin-off games. They did spin-off games before. The last one, I believe, was Metal Gear Revengeance. And I know Hideo Kojima, he wasn't directly on hands with that. That wasn't like, one of his babies, but he was the overseer and all that. But now that Kojima's not there, I don't know. I mean, it can go either way.
And there's a lot of bad blood now after they forced him out.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let him go to the award show, I think was the big story for MGS5. I do have to correct you, though, because I'm actually really mad right now.
You're mad?
And I need to stop what we're doing and just let you know. You said Solid Snake.
Solid Snake?
I think who you mean
Big
is
Boss?
Big Boss, a.k.a. Venom Snake.
He had so many damn names.
Big difference. Are you not familiar with the Les Enfants Terribles project, Mark, Mr. I Speak French and Watch French Movies?
I know one French word, and that's J'attends.
No Man's Sky, it's kind of building off this. No Man's Sky, so we'll all see what happens. Backtracking forward. We'll see
Sad, back
we'll
left.
see what happens with Metal Gear. Obviously, people are going to check it out. Seems like kind of like a game someone's going to play for 5 minutes and get bored with, but it could take off like Left 4 Dead, things like that. But No Man's Sky dropped recently, and my goodness, was it awesome when it came out. Beautiful graphics, cool concept. Took years and years.
It was awesome before it came out.
Years and years and years and years to develop. The premise of, going to 9 zillion planets, seeing 9 badillion, is that more than 9 zillion?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
9 badillion animals and species, mining, exploring, all that kind of stuff. It was really appealing, getting in a ship and just flying to another planet. I saw positive reviews when it first dropped. Issue is, flash forward a few weeks, people are bored to death with it already.
One review I read was that it was the most beautiful side mission ever.
It's like, hey, want a day off from doing anything important and or fun? Go explore these missions.
I think they said leading up to the game that it would take roughly 5 billion years to reach every single planet if you were going from one planet to the next every 1 second. That's how expanded and
it's way too
how big this game is supposed to be.
It's very... What's the word I want?
Expansive?
No. Innovative.
Innovative, yes.
To where, what they were trying to do, and obviously it took them a long time to do it, kind of see if they definitely need to introduce new things to it to keep people interested.
I know they're doing updates. They're releasing one this week to fix bugs and all that, and I know they're releasing a patch next week, and I believe their words were, I think fans will like this better. Maybe it could be story content, maybe... I don't know.
Well, that's the big thing is the critics seem to not really like it too much, and the players, it's kind of a little bit up in the air, but it's been pretty positive, at least from what I've heard so far. What Like, what is it that the critics and the players who don't really care for this game, what is it that they're talking negative about? Like, that's what I really don't understand. Is nobody's giving a lot of substance as to why it is it's not great.
It's just getting real repetitive. I remember they had the same issue with Arkham, the most recent Arkham game, where they introduced the Batmobile. And a lot of the gameplay was driving around in the Batmobile because it was the new shiny toy. And they developed missions and stuff for the Batmobile. But after a while, you're like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of being in the Batmobile. Very similar. You know, you go around, you mine, you explore. And unless you're exploring, there's really nothing to do.
Well, with Batman, you know what the story is. With this one, the goal is, with No Man's Sky, the goal is to get to the center of the universe. So there's not really a concrete story behind that.
It's kind of like make your own story. That's the whole concept of the game.
Yeah, you can fight, you can craft, you can play it however you want, but there's nothing interweaving between all that. And I think this is a game for people who like collecting and all that.
Would you recommend people pick it up at this point, or would you recommend people wait maybe 6 months before they start dropping more stuff and see where it goes?
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't matter no matter what, because they're going to patch the game and all that. But if you do want to wait and see if it gets better in terms of more content for players and all that, then yeah, sure, wait it out for a month or two and then, see if you want to jump into the pool.
See, I don't even recommend this game to anyone.
You don't?
No, because when I was playing it, it was cool for the first day, but then the second day I was like, I guess I'll go outside. Almost hit my 5-minute goal, by the way, of being outside that day. Almost did. So the good point is that, we're seeing more games that are kind of new now. We're going away from that sandboxed format kind of. Now we're just making an entire world's worth of content to do. So,
and rumor has it on the PS4 Neo or whatever that halfway console is going to be with the upgraded graphics, they don't even know what could happen. It could be more trees, more worlds, because it's a self-generating system or whatever. So even the developers don't even know what could happen. So we could get more stuff on the upgraded console. Skynet.
So when I was actually picking up this game, I went to, just a shopping center after I had a nice dinner at a local restaurant chain. I think you guys know which one I'm talking about. Baby back ribs. Anyway.
A fine establishment like Chili's?
Oh, I didn't want to say the name. But, yeah, so I went and I saw a Harry Potter book on sale. And, I thought to myself, I haven't read Harry Potter in a while. Why not read Harry Potter? And something came across my mind. Dumbledore is an awful, not a good, not a bad, not an okay, not a sometimes okay, an awful, awful leader. And I know you're thinking, Kevin, why are you bringing this up? Because I thought it would be a great idea to discuss some famous characters, and are they really bad leaders? Do they have awful leadership qualities? And the ones I wanted to post against each other is Mr. Albus Dumbledore. And then I didn't want to do this. I'll be honest with you guys. We're getting real into the nitty-gritty. But apparently if you shoot a wizard out there, you got to have another wizard. So we're going to throw Mr. Gandalf out there. And then, for kicks and giggles, why the hell not? Armor suits are cool. We're going to throw Mr. Tony Stark out there. So let's go. We have Iron Man versus the other guys that I listed. Dumbledore, Gandalf. Who has the worst leadership qualities? Who led to the people that not necessarily were following them, but looked at them? Because we're not saying Cap or Iron Man is a leader of the Avengers. We're just saying that there are times where he was kind of leaderish. So who is the worst and why? Somebody please defend Bilbo Baggins, old man wizard boy. I don't even know his name. That's how irrelevant it was.
Well,
please.
Gandalf.
Gandalf the Great, Gandalf the White guy. I
think that he has the worst leadership qualities because he doesn't do anything.
Honestly, like the guy can't even pick a color scheme to go with. How dare you have multiple wardrobe? That dude who played Dumbledore was the same costume, 8 movies.
He was so dumb that they killed him off, and then they're like, wait, probably shouldn't have killed him off. They brought him back, and he still doesn't bring anything to the table.
My biggest issue with Gandalf is, okay, he arrives at the Shire, and then he's like smoking a lot of weed. And then he's like, I wonder if that ring is still around. And then he's like, I gotta go find answers to shit or crap. And then he disappears for like, I'm guessing a few months. And then he comes back, and then he's like, I'm stuck now. I can't help you anymore, even though you're now on this journey to bring the ring to Mordor. And then he disappears, and then he shows up, and he does nothing. Nothing at all. Do we see any magic? No. The best thing he can do is illuminate a gosh darn cave. I could do that with a flashlight, Gerald. Tell me how that's showing real leadership priorities.
That's probably why he wasn't getting anything done, was because he was high all the time.
I just remember the only person who had been in the mines of Moria was him. And he's like, all right, I guess we'll go down there. I've been there. And as soon as he gets in there, he's like, shit, I don't know which way to go. Awful leadership. Dumbledore, can anybody defend Dumbledore? Because let me tell you why Dumbledore sucks while we're on the top.
I don't even know what Dumbledore did.
Dumbledore is the greatest wizard the world has ever seen, per Harry Potter. Every book. And Harry Potter, I think everybody knows, was attacked by Lord Voldemort as a baby. And somehow he mysteriously survived and broke Lord Voldemort into pieces. Dumbledore decided, you know what? This boy's going to be famous. Let's put him with his awful muggle parents to live under a broom cupboard, be starved to death, and not physically abused, but verbally abused. And oh, by the way, let's keep this giant prophecy away from him. Because if he knows about it at too young of an age, it might mess him up, which leads to 90% of the people Harry Potter cares about dying. He even admits that in the 5th book after Sirius Black dies. And Dumbledore, here's my biggest issue with Dumbledore. They always get the sense of he knows what's going on, even without, actually knowing. Like, he always looks at people being like, do you have something to tell me, Harry? Or, like, things like that. But if he knows what's going on, why wouldn't he stop some of the stuff? Why wouldn't he stop the heir of Slytherin? Why wouldn't he stop any other bad guy in Harry Potter? Like, he's literally the worst.
No.
He's worse
Dumbledore is amazing.
No, he's worse than Gandalf. Let me tell
not
you.
at all.
Just because he's a nice, charming old man that offers sweets to people does not mean...
Let's take your argument on why he would leave him with his muggle aunt and uncle.
Aunt
and uncle.
Don't be that dude.
Is because he was protecting Harry from Voldemort and the Death Eaters finding him.
Yeah, but the Death Eaters are all little babies at that point.
So he went that way. And obviously he's not going to be around to explain anything to him. It was his muggle aunt, and uncle that kept everything from him.
I'm talking about when he went back to school, though. From age 11 to 17, or I should say 16, because spoiler alert, Snape kills Dumbledore. Anyway, he just always leaves information out for Harry. He, kind of tells him what's going on, but never really fully tells him. And we're talking about the most dangerous wizard of all time. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a prophecy where one of them has to kill the other one. Kind of crucial information, wouldn't you think?
Because Harry's not ready for it yet. Dumbledore knows.
Yeah, but
he knows when there's too much.
Can you necessarily wait till people are ready while people are dying around you? I think Dumbledore's actions definitely led to the most deaths.
He's really old. Maybe he just forgot.
And we haven't even talked about my boy Tony Stark yet.
That's probably all the memories he pulled out of his head.
Let's talk about Tony Stark. If it wasn't for Tony Stark, there would be no more Marvel movies because he wouldn't be effing crap up.
He does seem to create a lot of problems.
Just going on TV, bloating, I'm Iron Man. Come, if you want me, here's my dress. Come and get me. Mandarin shows up with a helicopter, blows up his entire thing.
Not even the real Mandarin.
I am the Mandarin, and I'm coming to get you, Tony Stark. And then all of a sudden, Ultron, I think that's his biggest blunder, where he thinks he's creating safety, and then all of a sudden develops a pretty much Skynet, but times 1,000, that can levitate cities from the ground and then kill millions and thousands of people.
Yeah, but we got Vision out of it.
And then it's Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, Vision's pretty BA.
Captain America Civil War, he's even taking a step further, being like, you guys have to now follow the government or else I'm going to come get you. I mean, what an awful guy. Why would anybody want him back in the Avengers ever again?
Yeah, because he's amazing.
Yeah, he is. He's super smart, even though he makes dumb decisions.
And he has money.
I just like how Bruce Banner...
that's why they keep him around. He has money.
I like how Bruce Banner was there, and he was just like, listen, I don't think we should do this, but I'm an irrelevant character unless I'm green, so I guess we will. So, Voldemort, awful. Or Dumbledore, awful. And he has 8 names. Never trust a person who has 8 names, Gerald. So he's an awful leader. He definitely led to the deaths of numerous characters. Not even funny. Gandalf, I don't think, led to deaths of people, but just wasn't around to help them. He's just like, I guess I'll die now. And
he was a pointless character. He has no leadership qualities.
And then he's like, Flah, you fools. And it's like, great advice, bro, as we're running from a fire demon.
He shows up at the end of the 2 towers. He could have saved a lot of people.
Right,
nope.
Quick round. Who thinks who's the worst? I personally think Dumbledore is easily the worst.
I'm going to go with Dumbledore.
We're going to go with Gandalf.
You would, you old man hater. Steve?
Gandalf the gray, Gandalf the white, Gandalf the whatever.
Gandalf the blue. All right, guys, thanks so much for checking out Boyz Nerds. We have been here. I've had a great time. I don't know about you guys. Gerald, you look mad, but
It was all right.
I had a great time. Let us know who you think is the worst leader, or I should say has worst leadership qualities. We will be back as always in about 2 weeks. Make sure you check out for other content, Facebook, YouTube, all the other stuff we have. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure to check us out. It helps us out. We want to hear from you. As always, this is Kevin. We'll see you later. Ciao. Oh, guys, thanks so much for checking us out, Boyz to Nerds. We always have a blast doing these. We really do. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely think I should have been at least into the final round of the game. Not sure, but let us know what you think in the Facebook comments. Make sure to always subscribe to make sure you check out new information and like us, and make sure to share as well, because it certainly does us a favor. We love doing these for you, and catch us in a few weeks. Thanks so much.